Keir Starmer is losing his cool as his desperate and erratic deceptions are exposed day after day in the media. At last, this leader is getting the attention he deserves, and Starmer is said to be not exactly happy. In today's video, we'll go over the entire development of this story. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and join our growing community. Starmer and the Labour government have been singled out by many for the lies they have promoted since before they took power, and now in the 110 days they have been in office, those falsehoods have begun to be exposed. The budget presented yesterday is the clearest example of this situation. The government has increased taxes by £40 billion, and it is working people who are bearing the brunt of this decision, despite the fact that the Labour Party had assured in its manifesto that it would not collect taxes from the working class. After the announcement of the budget, several public figures have come out to harshly criticize the Prime Minister for his failures. First, it was Rishi Sunak, who pointed out, "You create a negative environment for business when you undermine trust in our country, when you penalize those who invest, take risks, and work hard. You don't generate growth, you hinder it." But time and time again, we have seen the same result. There is not more growth, but more debt, more inflation, and more taxes. Sunak then concluded with a more blunt point. The Prime Minister has spoken tirelessly of confidence, but today's budget reveals above all that the Labour Party was not honest. They said they would not manipulate the figures, and they have. They said they would not increase the debt, but they increased it. They said they would not raise taxes on workers, and they have broken that promise one after another. And in the end, it is the working people of this country who will pay the price. After Sunak, another fierce critic joined the chorus. Henrik, who had no qualms about pointing out the government's apparent inconsistencies. With clear figures, Henrik denounced that the Labour Party is hitting workers with billions in additional taxes, despite having won the election on a promise not to do just that. Rachel Reid, who was just interviewed, seems unable to keep her word, he said. He said in the campaign that he would not raise taxes, and he has done so. He said he would not increase the debt, and he has increased it disproportionately. Henrik also mentioned how the Labour Party tried to justify these tax hikes by arguing that there was a supposed financial black hole in the national budget, something he said is just an excuse created to justify the serious tax increases affecting the economy and ordinary citizens. The public no longer trusts this Labour government, Henrik added. They are inventing reasons to justify huge tax hikes that only harm the economy and the lives of workers. Influential figures such as Nigel Farage have also been harshly critical of the government. Even some traditional media outlets, which tend to maintain a neutral stance, have broken ranks and begun pointing out the unfulfilled promises of Starmer and his team. It is clear that with each misstep, the Labour Party is losing the confidence of a part of the public, and its credibility is at stake. Starmer, visibly frustrated, seems to be feeling the pressure. He knows that his time is running out and that every day that passes without keeping his promises is a day when his leadership is worn out. What do you think about Starmer's actions and broken promises? Leave me your opinions in the comments. In news that has caused a stir, the UK Border Force has fined a British driver £6,000 after finding a migrant hiding in his camper van. The man, a 75-year-old retiree who worked as a paramedic, was traveling back to the United Kingdom with his wife, 78, after a vacation in Europe. The couple claims they had no idea that the migrant, a young Sudanese man, had hidden in his vehicle as they prepared to catch a ferry from the port of Calais. The driver, identified as Hughes, said he suspects the migrant may have snuck into his trailer when they stopped at a supermarket to stock up. Without realizing what was happening, they continued their journey until, at border control in France, the authorities carried out a complete search of the vehicle and discovered the stowaway. Although initially assured by a French officer that he would face no further repercussions, Hughes later received a notification from the UK Home Office informing him that he was under investigation and that he was due to pay a fine of £6,000. The fine was based on the Immigration and Asylum Act 1999 and the Carrier Liability Regulations 2002, and the notice mentioned that the driver had failed to carry out the necessary inspections on his vehicle before arriving at immigration control. Faced with this situation, Hughes expressed his refusal to pay what he considers an excessive amount and announced that he will appeal with the help of his local parliamentarian Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner. His team has already confirmed that they are reviewing the case in conjunction with the Secretary of the Interior. Hughes, visibly shaken, said, "I haven't been able to sleep since I got the ticket. It is a tremendous injustice. We're just normal people trying to make things right, and now we're treated like we've committed a crime." This case has generated concern among other travelers who now wonder if they could face similar situations without knowing it. Hughes hopes his experience will serve as a warning for others to be vigilant on their journeys and avoid going through the same thing. What do you think about this situation? Is it fair that a retired couple faces this burden for something they did not know? Share your thoughts in the comments. Mr. Hughes, who has dedicated his life to helping others as an ambulance worker, now faces a situation he never could have imagined. "We've had sleepless nights because of worry," he said, visibly shaken. "It's not fair that people like us, who have always respected the laws, have to deal with such a disproportionate fine for something that was out of our control." The 75-year-old explained that while he and his wife were doing their shopping at the supermarket, they did not notice anything unusual in their motorhome. After the inspection by French officials, where the migrant was discovered, Hughes cooperated at all times with the authorities, confident that it would not have serious consequences. However, after returning to the UK, he was notified of a fine issued by a border force smuggling penalty team, who argued that the necessary security checks had not been carried out on the vehicle. The team of parliamentarian Angela Rayner, upon being informed of the situation, expressed its willingness to review the case in depth and collaborate with the Ministry of the Interior. This response, while encouraging, has not dissipated the emotional impact on Hughes and his wife, who feel trapped in a bureaucratic nightmare. For Hughes, this incident is not only a financial burden, but a source of deep frustration and helplessness. "You try to be a good citizen, live quietly, and then this happens," he said. "I feel like I'm being unfairly punished for something completely out of my control. This could happen to anyone, and it's terrifying to think about the repercussions." Hughes's case has raised concerns among other drivers and frequent travelers who now fear facing similar fines without prior knowledge of the presence of migrants hiding in their vehicles. With immigration and border regulations under scrutiny in the UK, this incident raises important questions about how the law is enforced and whether it is fair for people like Hughes to bear these consequences. Do you think the border force should consider these cases more flexibly? Is it fair to impose such severe sanctions on ordinary citizens in such complicated situations? Leave us your thoughts in the comments. On other issues, the royal couple who have captured global attention, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, appear to be following separate professional paths as part of a deliberate strategy. According to one real commentator, this professional separation is working well, allowing them to focus on their individual interests while still making a considerable impact. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have made multiple separate engagements in recent months. This strategy, according to experts, allows both to capitalize on their personal strengths. Harry has focused on charity work and social affairs, while Meghan has explored more commercial routes. For some, this dynamic is a smart move that allows them to cover more ground in their projects. In fact, they now have twice the impact, commented a close source, because they can cover much more each one in their respective areas. However, this professional separation has given rise to rumors about possible tensions in their marriage. Some sources close to Meghan say that the Duchess has felt exhausted by speculation about their relationship. An insider mentioned that she has felt the pressure and exhaustion caused by recent rumors and constant public surveillance over her every move. Although both have clarified that the decision to hold separate events was mutual and responds to what they consider to be best for them at the moment, media coverage continues to fuel the rumors. Through it all, they both still work together on key projects and remain a strong team when it comes to sensitive topics. For example, they recently engaged in a conversation with parents who have lost children due to the use of the dark web, addressing this issue together in a touching and meaningful act. In addition, their recent trip to Nigeria and Colombia, where they were seen united and committed, showed that they are still a strong couple when working on international issues. However, the fact that Harry and Meghan frequently appear separately has led some to see this dynamic as a reflection of a distance in their private lives. According to a commentary in The Times, Harry would be looking to move away from the celebrity cloud that has surrounded them since they left the royal family in 2020 and yearns to regain his reputation through a more serious focus on philanthropy. A source close to the prince noted that Harry has no interest in returning to his traditional role within the royal family, but instead wishes to be recognized as a serious, philanthropic player. Since their official departure from the royal family and their move to the United States, Harry and Meghan have had some setbacks in their public careers, including the loss of their Spotify deal and some criticism for their statements about the royal family. However, both continue to look for ways to leave their mark on the world, either jointly or individually. What do you think about Harry and Meghan's decision to go their separate ways in the professional field? Do you think it will affect your relationship in the long term, or that it is a solid strategy? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content about the British royal family. See you in the next video!